Prime Minister Theresa May accepted the resignation of the Hastings and Rye MP on Sunday night. Former Communities Secretary Sajid Javid was announced as Ms. Rudd's successor on Monday morning, Downing Street confirmed. Ms. Rudd's resignation follows weeks of pressure about her involvement in the fiasco, which saw thousands of members of the so-called Windrush generation from Caribbean countries face deportation, job losses and withdrawn health care. The government has offered free citizenship to people from all Commonwealth countries who arrived in the UK before 1973, including individuals who have no current documentation. Children of the Windrush generation are also included, as well as Commonwealth migrants who already have leave to remain and want to advance their status. Mrs. May said she was very sorry to see her successor as Home Secretary leave the post, while Ms. Rudd's opposite number Diane Abbott said she had done the right thing. Monday, May 111.18 am. What posts have changed under today's cabinet reshuffle? PM Theresa May has been making several changes to her cabinet this morning following the resignation of Amber Rudd. James Brokenshire MP becomes Secretary of State for Housing, Communities and Local Government. International Development Secretary Penny Mordaunt MP becomes Minister for Women and Equalities. 10:58 am. Mixed response from officials to Amber Rudd's resignation. The news of Amber Rudd's resignation has divided opinion sharply from political and media circles. Health Secretary Jeremy Hunt tweeted, "Devastating news for all of us lucky enough to serve with it Amber Rudd. In cabinet she was always a true statesman who spoke her mind, publicly and privately, irrespective of the politics. She will be missed until she is back, which she will be." Education Secretary Damien Hines said he hopes Ms. Rudd will be back. He told Today, "I very much regret that Amber has taken the decision to resign, but I understand why she has done so." Evening Standard editor and former Chancellor George Osborne tweeted, so sad to see Amber go. The government just got a bit less human." Shadow Home Secretary Diane Abbott said, "This was inevitable. The only surprise is that it took so long. The architect of this crisis, Theresa May, must now step forward to give a full and honest account of how this inexcusable situation happened on her watch." David Lammy, a staunch campaigner for Windrush generation, tweeted a lengthy response in which he said Ms. Rudd resigned because she didn't know what was going on in her own department and she had clearly lost the confidence of her own civil servants. He added, "The resignation of the Home Secretary must not detract from the fact that this crisis was a direct result of the hostile environment policy. That policy must now be reviewed, and the Home Office must move quickly to compensate and grant citizenship to the Windrush generation." 10:48 am. Theresa May must face MPs following Amber Rudd's resignation. Diane Abbott says Diane Abbott has said Theresa May must face MPs following Amber Rudd's resignation. Ms. Abbott told BBC Radio 4's Today programme, "We want to talk to her about the aspects of the so-called hostile environment which she was responsible for and led to the Windrush fiasco." The Shadow Health Secretary added, "I brought it to the House last week because there was this difficulty and problem about understanding her evidence to the Home Affairs Select Committee, but fundamentally the reason she had to resign was because of the Windrush fiasco. Somebody had to take responsibility. It happened on her watch, therefore I think it is right that she resigned." 10:45 am. Who is Sajid Javid? Sajid Javid has replaced Amber Rudd as the government's new Home Secretary, following Amber Rudd's resignation. Mr. Javid, 48, is the former Communities and Local Government Secretary, and a former Managing Director at Deutsche Bank. Known for his passion for detail when He was Business Minister Javid, who backed staying in the European Union, will take over Britain's Home Office at a time it is under scrutiny for using targets for the deportation of illegal migrants. He may also change the balance adopted by May's team in negotiating Britain's departure from the EU, a lukewarm campaigner to stay in the bloc. He said the referendum result in 2016 meant that, in some ways, we're all Brexiteers now. The Queen has been pleased to approve the appointment of the Right Honourable Sajid Javid MP as Secretary of State for the Home Department, May's office said in a statement. 10:35 a.m. Sajid Javid urges voters not to abandon trees. Yesterday, the then Communities Secretary Sajid Javid, whose parents emigrated from Pakistan in the 1960s, said his first reaction when he heard people were being wrongly threatened with deportation was that it could have been his family. However, in an interview with the Sunday Telegraph, he said the government was committed to put things right, and he urged ethnic minority voters to look at the bigger picture when it came to Thursday's vote. His intervention came as Labour called for a full inquiry into whether Home Secretary Amber Rudd had breached the ministerial code over government targets for removing illegal immigrants.